Darkness is nothing to fear. In our darkest moments, we learn who we are. Hello everyone, Wicked Gaming back with you today to do a shipbuilding tutorial for this. I will be building this ship as best as I can from memory using the new DarkStar and Falkland ship systems. Now you can recreate this without Falkland, but you won't get the fancy weapon graphics, and you won't have the crew and passenger capacity. So, without further ado, let's hop to it. So first I will show you this ship in the builder. 7200 shield comes a lot of that from my skills. This ship was built using only 2 habs, one of which is the reactor and a cockpit, and yet it has 7 crew capacity and I believe 4 or 8 passenger slots, which don't show in the sheet here. It's 12 engines, full weapon system array using DarkStar weapons with Falkland graphics. So, the exposed weapons are all Falkland graphics. These hidden weapons here that you can't see, they don't highlight, those are being used in merges. And the torpedo is hanging out somewhere, I forget where. I believe it's down back by the engines. Yeah, that's where it is. All right, so without further ado, let's get into a new ship build to recreate this. Again, as best as I can from memory. And delete it. All right, so the first thing that I will do with any ship that's going to be this complex is I want to grab the engines, because the engines are going to be critical for my merging. So I want Class A engines because they are the fastest, but I want the X series. If you've unlocked all of the Starborn parts in DarkStar, then you'll have these accessible. If not, any of these will work. You just need to make sure that you are using, if you flip to the left, you'll see it goes XEG04 to XEG12. That 12 is how many you can install. So what we're looking for is these engines here in their 12 build variant. And you want to start from this bottom port side version. The reason is the engine cloning glitch that happens with this one, where when you duplicate it, it stacks inside of itself. Right, now we wouldn't want to leave it in this configuration for display because it's cutting through where the thrusters come out, but you can see that this has created a mid-merge point automatically, and in this configuration they do snap together, but that's less critical right now. So from here, the next thing I do is I'll pull out a structural piece. I want the Deimos hull, which will not stay with my ship. Notice I'm just dragging it slightly. I've got my ship overlap tolerances set. You can drop down glitch these into place if need be, if you are on Xbox. Or you can use a ship tolerance mod of some kind. DarkStar does not provide that. But that gives me these snap points that are not the engine, and I can then use them to peel these away and flip them to their proper configuration. I want to go down one layer. No. There we go. We want to make sure he snaps to the middle layer. He's the middle engine configuration. And then I'll flip him twice, bring him down, and snap him to the top. And now you can see they merge nice and seamlessly on the graphical side on the back end, which means no clipping with the thrusters It's nice and smooth on the outside. It looks nice. And I need to come up out of the floor. And now we will grab this guy and do the same on this side. Just flipping bit by bit to get him into place. Okay, now we have those guys. So I'll grab these three, clone them once, pull them off to the side. There are our engines. Now I'm going to move this out of the way. He is our merging block. All right, the engines stay where they're at for now, but I'm going to prep something on these engines to make it even easier. So I could use the Horizon weapon mounts, but since I have unlocked the cargo, the discrete cargo from DarkStar, I'm going to use the Starborn version of the discrete cargo, which is a weapon snap point. So I need both configurations. Attach him there, and I'll put him on the other one. Drag down, drag up, and down and up. Now I will grab these guys and pull them up. Oh, too much. These guys and pull them out. Now that they're out of the way, I can pull out my weapons. Oop, too far. So in the merged section, I want to use the mortal version of the Obliterator weapon. So I will use this guy. On the exposed weapons, I'm going to use the Starborn version. So clone him into place there. And there. There. And there. Now I can drag these back into place. Now what happens here is that this weapon is now attached to this weapon mount and this weapon mount, because the weapon attach points overlap and intersect with the weapon. The end result is this weapon is attached to here and here, this is attached to here, this is attached to here. Therefore, all of these pieces are connected. Same thing's happening on the bottom, which means I select one thing and I get the whole thing. Both of these are being done that way. So to make the to make attaching these together easier, I snap that there, highlight this whole thing, and then boom, he's in place. Now I can delete this guy and that guy, and I have my central engine hub ready. I have this one weapon off to the side to remind me I have two more of those to install. I will be using them up here on this merge. Okay, so let's get ready for this merge. I pull one to the side from, one to each side from the middle, get him out of the way, and then one forward, again from the middle. Now, this is where I'm going to start using some Falkland parts. He did a good job of adding structurals that are chrome and easily colored, and they look slicker. They don't really do much different. They just look different, and they're just a bit slicker than your average part. So I do like them. I'm going to pull a few of them out and flip them to their chrome versions and just set them off to the side. I know I'm going to use that one I just pulled out. I'm going to use the bumper. And definitely will be using this. I don't recall a build where I didn't use this. It's the most addictive part in Starfield. Let's see. I'm going to be using those. Pretty sure I did. And these. Just in case I need that. I think I do. I do not recall. Thrusters. Wings. I'll need that very soon. And this wing. Okay, so and I need to pull out more cargo, or more of the cargo pieces, because I need more for the merging. Cargo. I'm gonna need this guy, lots of them, and I will need both of these configurations. For now, attach that there, so they're on the same horizontal level. And then I will get this guy in place. There we go. We want that in the center. And then we want to drag, not this, but we want to... I grabbed these early. Move them out of the way. We need the smaller Deimos wing. We need the square one for this merge. Where is that wing section? There we go. This guy. So the reason we put these in place first is we want this snap point taken up. We also want this visible in the center where it's going to be. So if you're trying to put these in here and you can't get them to stay and they go red, you can flip like this and do the flip glitch, snap them in place like that. For me, with my tolerances set the way they are, I can usually just line these up. They're going to jump slightly to the left when you place them. So you want to get the front edge lined up. Or the back edge lined up. You don't want a gap. There's a small gap. So I'm going to move just slightly this way. And we want to make sure that this center line is in line with the center line of the Nova wing. And they're just slightly off. A little bit of guesswork involved to get it done your first time. I've done it a few times, so it's easy for me. We drag that into place. I'm going to double click, hold control and double click. On Xbox, I forget the buttons, but you just want to select all of these things except for this guy. Make sure you have it all selected, and then you hover over and do your jump into position button on keyboard. It's space. I believe it's like A or B or something like that on Xbox. Sorry, it's been a while. And then we want that into place. And he's already attached. So there's that. Now before we go any further, I don't need these pieces anymore. Because what we're going to do is clone a copy of this wing and put it out here because I forgot to keep a copy. I'm going to bring this over, and what I want is to have this merged in here. So now he is just off to the side, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. Again, we're just doing the jump to get it to jump into position. Okay, now that's done. To make, I need another attach point down in here. So temporarily, I'm going to just drag one of those forward. And then I'm going to make use of a lot of these. So to make that easier, grab that bottom one. I'll bring him over here and clone one into position. Now from there, I want to prep the ones of these that I'm going to put into place. So I've got my 2 weapons, conduction grids. I always double these up, even though I know they don't necessarily stack. But the conduction grids, the scan jammers, and the comm spike, basically. And I'm going to use the DarkStar versions of those. Equipment. So there we go. I've got those done. Grab my weapon, put him over there. And then what I'm going to do is merge them all in. But first, I want to check my cargo. See, I'll just overlap them like that. I want to get at least 20,000 cargo here. Now that's multiple of these stacked inside of each other. What we do now is drag. These are all too low. Let me move them up. Make it easier for myself. Okay. Move him. Of course. Snap him here first. And then we'll drag him so that his corner overlaps. Select everything but him and jump into position. Okay, we'll do the same thing with each piece. We're just overlaying all of these cargo equipment plates, dancing in different directions so that it doesn't go too wonky off screen or jump into something else. Slowly but surely stacking them all together. Now, what you would see if you try and pick this up is you'll get one plate and everything attached to it. That's not what we want. We want to keep the plates and all of the weapons and everything else. So we do this and we do this. All right, and did I leave myself any of those? No. So I am going to actually get one more cargo out here. And we're going to get one weapon. That is going to be the Annihilator. So the Annihilator is the Starborn Guardian's torpedo, but kind of done better. It's a burst fire version of it. Very, very powerful. Honestly, it's probably deserves a nerf, but I'm not gonna. All right, so to show you what I did, I want to get all of these equipment plates, and we're going to drop it down through these two so that they snap these plates attached to this block. So that will cause all of these weapons to pass through all of these Nova wings and these attach points for these weapon mounts. That will sync everything together and make it all one cohesive attached piece. So I select all here, and then deselect just that piece and just that piece, and pick up the red. Then I can snap it in place, and I can even remove the bottom piece, and all of that is attached. Now, I need something to snap to that equipment plate on the bottom to synchronize everything. That's easy enough, because what I'm going to do, I don't need these anymore, is I'm going to put my grav drive down there. So let's get our grav drive. Oh, too far. And we're going to use the maximum Class C DarkStar grav drive. He wants to go high. So there we go. We snap him in place. And now everything is linked. That means I can grab just these three and move them out of my way. Don't need them anymore. All of these are still linked. And then from there, grab these linked engines and center them. And it's as easy as that. Okay, so the other thing I did was I attached these there. And I want one in the middle, but that's going to be a little bit of a bear. We'll handle that in a second. I remember that being a little bit of a pain the first time also. So I think one of the things that I did, I can bring this over, attach him there, and then I can go to my structural. Grab this guy in his chrome version. Now what I want to do is I want to get him inside. So I take this. So what I did was I built off the center. I built 2 at that center line. Okay. And then I basically am built off of it and up. So that I take these guys and I drag until these 2 attach points on these upper ones, these 2, attach here. That will shove him into the center. And he tried to move up, so instead I will move him out and try again. All right, let's do this again. And we'll do that with, all right, so that'll work on the bottom. Let's get a top one. Let's delete this guy. Let's do this, and now, actually, let's do this. Now I've got it in position. Sometimes you just got to work a little bit of magic, get things lined up how you want. And now it's in there. So now I have that structural piece in there, in the middle. And we can use that trick to get these other pieces in place. So let's do this. Oh, I want to clone them. Clone them out here. Okay. And then I want to take advantage of these guys. Actually, you know what? I'm being an idiot. I'm being an idiot. Put that guy there. And put that guy there. Now I can clone that down and clone that down. Done deal. All right. And that is that. Actually, that isn't helping me. But that's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I should have an attach point there. I do. So that'll sync up as soon as I attach something there. All right. So let's build our configuration for the center struts, or the wings and all that stuff. All right, so I know I'm going to need that. 2 of those. And that. I'm going to need, let's see, let's bring these guys back into the middle. Grab this guy, put him up top. That gives me an attach point to work with. And I'm going to need these guys built out now. Okay. Oh, get back in there. Okay. I need pieces here. Oh, come back here. I need these pieces here. 1 step forward. Because these, I'm not using extended snaps and all that stuff right now. So there's that. And then I believe from there I did that. Yeah, I did that. But I also had these guys built in. So instead of just those, I had that and that, that and that. And then that and that, that and that. All right. And so from there, I know I'm going to need a piece on the inside. So I believe I did this. And that. Undo. And now we're coming together. We're coming together. And I'm building it the way that I am on purpose, just to show kind of the airframe itself, and then you can go from there to put in whatever HABS reactor that you want. So let's also get this ready. So the easier way is to do this and snap these guys on so that they're in position. And I also want to do it at the level of the upper and lower. So I'm actually going to delete the middle here and move these here and up. So because I select both together when I do my cloning, they actually will come together. And I'm actually going to do that. So now it's all attached. I'm not going to leave it that way, obviously. This is just a builder struct, if you will. Okay, and now I can grab these and move them into position here. Again, with my build tolerance, they just want to snap. If there is one snap point available in my configuration, they will take it and run with it. So there that is. There's the overall structure of the ship ready to go. Before I move much further, I want to take a few pieces off and slip some things in. So I know I want to pull these two off, and including that guy. I'm going to make use of that attach point there, and the same thing with these two, and pull his duder off. And now I've got that. So I'm going to put my shield on one of those. It doesn't matter what graphic shield you pick if you do this hide trick, because you won't be able to see it. But I am anal retentive, if nothing else. And I have to have them look right, even if I can't see them. Isn't it fun to be me? And drag that back in. And that back in. Now, I haven't done anything with landing gear yet, or fuel cells, or anything else. But this is, I love it. I love it a lot. I do need a couple more cargos. Cargo. We're going to be using a few more of these. So our cockpit is going to end somewhere around here. That means we're going to have a little bit of an open space here, which doesn't need one of these, but can't hurt. If I could grab it. If it causes you glitches, as in it won't, it's clipping into something you don't want it clipping into, you can always move it later. But I wanted to have these ready so that I could do the next phase of this, which is to get my 4 kind of prong things ready. I know I'm going to need these. Just bring them down so they snap at that level. And then put them... How did I do it? I think it was here? No, I had them here, I believe. Yeah. Okay, and these can go away. Put these back. Come on, get over here. Get over. You little. Okay, and we'll grab these guys. I said grab these guys. Okay. And there's the airframe. Now we need landing gear, fuel, cockpit, and HAPS. Okay. So let's move one stack of these out of the way. The rest can get deleted. These stopped being attached because they don't have a hab to attach to. That is fine. It will be fixed in just a moment. But that's why that happens. All right. Let's get a Falkland hab. But actually, let's start with the Falkland reactor. So we know we want a walk-in reactor, because who wouldn't, right? I want Class C, max ability, and there it is. I just flip until I get it. So there's the reactor. I'm going to put him on the back, because I just want to be able to walk into him. I forget where I put the... Oh, that's right. So on this one, I had a design choice that ended up hurting the appearance of this reactor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up with my docking port on the top, visible, which isn't something that I normally do, but I want to be able to preserve the floor attachment and ceiling attachment of this reactor so that it doesn't get used anywhere. It doesn't get consumed by anything. So let's get the HABs next. I think I used a crew station. Was it control station? Control station. And you just do the alternate flip and you can get that in there. And then a cockpit. So I'm going to go with the Falkland Kestrel B. And that snaps right in. So now everything is reattached just because it has cockpits to snap to. And you can see you've got a lot of space underneath. So there's that. I'm going to get the, let's see. I need a bay. Bay. We like this guy, which is why I pulled this guy out. But I can't snap him into place yet. So we'll get this guy in place. And it's not snapping low enough. There we go. So now he is going up into the control station hab. Let's check our errors, make sure missing Docker. Yep, I know. Yep, we're good. We're going to solve all of that in a minute. I believe what I originally did was I had a Docker come down here. And actually, we could extend the ship's length a bit. So that's an option you have. You can extend the ship's length in order to get one more hab in here. In order to get like the Deimos Docker facing down or something like that in here. But for me, for right now, this is good enough. This is going to work. I personally don't like seeing my Docker. I could technically merge it in here and have it pass through this guy, but that can cause some strange collisions. I don't want to take up the middle of this floor because of the reactor spawns in the middle of the floor. It'll let you do it, but it definitely looks cooler when it's not wiped out by whatever else you're doing. So, but before I go any further, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I did originally though. No, I'm not. I'll come back to that in a minute. I can do other tricks there. But let's get this... see, I'm struggling with that because I don't like that I have to do it. So there's no entrance on the bottom of this cab. Which is fine, it's fine. It doesn't have to have an entrance. You know what? I don't think I used this one on the... I may have. But on the second ship I built a different way using this guy instead. So I know he wants to go into a cab. So I can grab that and move it down if it'll actually do it. So he is now going into that hab, which will go up into this hab. And that's if I want ladders. But I don't want ladders. I'll deal with the Docker on the top. I'll just deal with it. I don't want ladders. I didn't ask for you. Although you would work. Because I don't need the attach points. See how I argue with myself? This is a constant if you ever watch me play on Discord. Sometimes I've got my mic on and I'm vocal. Other times I restrain myself. This time, I'm kind of talking to a mic as I build. So, it is what it is. Alright, let's get a Docker before we move too much further. so that we can clear that builder error. And of course, I know I'm going to use this one because it's on the top. I'm not going to paint this ship just so that I can leave it as an example, a build example. All right, so now it wants fuel, and let's see, landing gear, fuel, unattached modules, and then assigning my weapons. All right, so let's get the last weapon before I move on. That is going to be, so he's got his Gauss cannon, which looks amazing. Love it. But I'm going to make it the... Where is it? The Obliterator, X series Obliterator. Flip to left and boom. So I know I want on the top. No. I hate it when it does that. Why does it do that? Where it's like, oh, I'm at this weird angle permanently. So there's 4 of them. I don't think I have this snap point here, do I? Forget how I created that snap. How did I create that snap point? I had a central snap point in one of these. Oh, I can do that. Let's see, I get a wing. We'll grab one of these middle ones. And I'll just snap him in there. And then he can attach to it. Look at that. Perfect. Alright, there we go. I don't need this because I changed the docker I was using, or the bay I was using. I'm not going to use any of those. Don't need that. Don't need that. And I don't need these. Let's assign our weapons. X series, M series, torpedo. Now I have 2 errors. It's fuel and landing gear. Okay, so I want to get my fuel cells, my landing gear in there. I'm actually going to bring back one of those structural pieces I just deleted as a Falkland version. And that is going to be this guy here. So we'll make him silver, and he's going to be in there eventually. So what I want to do is something like this. Put one on top for now, and then I'll make sure he's at the right level, bring one over, and okay. How am I doing this? I don't need that guy. Alright, so one by one, I will take the things I want to merge in and put them in there. Fuel tanks, I don't need to, but for some reason, old habits die hard, and I will build 2 of these. They hold 400 fuel each. So take these guys, snap them into place, pull them back off. Pull them back off. And then I want so that's handles fuel. I want landing gear next. That's going to be under gear, wrong direction. So we're going to use, there's a Taio gear that I almost always use in my builds, this guy. And a Optech, this guy. I'm going to use him. So they're merged inside of each other. They're attached to these guys. just to make sure everything goes as planned. Drag this into there. Now all of that's merged together. Can delete these guys. Well, I want to grab one of these and put it on top. Do that. Unselect him. And then this set should snap into this gap and bring everything with it. And then I can actually take... I want the grab drive. Alright, so let's undo what we just did. I'm going to move the grab drive forward, is the key, to synchronize the appearance of my ship a bit. I want him inside here, and I'm going to bring one of these guys down. There we go. That matches the top, and I no longer need that guy. So in order to do this, bring this guy here, delete that guy. No, undo. Snap those in. Unselect that. And that's closer to what my original was. Okay. Delete this. And now we are nominal. So this, sorry for all the confusion and everything. You can do something special with this guy if you want. You could put him on the bottom if you don't mind losing the central reactor graphic. If you are like me and want to close these up on the top and the bottom, then you can, you know, add these guys in over there if you want, or, you know, what have you. You could even take this guy, turn him into this, if you wanted, but then that kind of, I don't know, it's a little weird. I don't like this edge specifically, so sometimes I will, if I build like this, I'll flip and check how that looks. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll do that on the bottom also. There's always room to refine, always room to enhance. I mean, that works some, but not all the way. I'm still not a fan of that. So let's play for a second. Let's play for a second. Let's go down and see if he has the Tayo little side pieces. He does. And the only problem with that is they leave that. So no thank you. Oh, that's what I put there. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. That's what I did. Pretty sure. And it'll work. Let's go find it, if I can find it. I'm looking for the thrusters. Which I forget where in his list he has his Nova thrusters. I always, even in the Nova list, I always scroll past them. Now, that attach point looks like it's meant to be there to give you access to these thrusters. Can't see what I'm attaching to. I don't like that. There we go. And there is our new ship, which I am not going to rename. Oh, good grief. Ugh. Ugh. Sorry about that. Okay, there's our new ship. Nice and shiny and silver. What I really like about it is the way that the different sections of the ship curve into each other. Especially when you paint it all one color, like black or red or gray or whatever. It looks molded. It doesn't look like modular pieces shoved together. That's why I use build techniques like this. So yeah, personally, I would end up playing with this design a little bit more to try and find a way to safely hide that docker. I don't like it, but this is a ladderless design. Or well, you'll have the boarding ladder, but you don't have to jump through habs and climb through habs in your ship. And it has a lot of space. It has Falkland's beautiful work on the interior. Lots of crew slots, lots of passenger slots, and an awesome walk-in reactor where you can go and see your ship generating power. I like that a lot. Maybe we can get Falkland to make a Falkland docker that doesn't look so janky. Something that's just like a little tiny bump on top. That would be great. But with this, I bid you all a good day. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure that you go and thank Jalmir, the mod author for Falkland, for his wonderful work. I'll show you actually those habs real quick. He's amazing at what he does. And with the DarkStar Falkland patch, you can build with Falkland parts right here at your DarkStar Bay or landing pad, and you can build with DarkStar parts at Falkland. All right, so this is the control center. Lots of places for your crew to sit and work. This is the reactor core, which again has crew slots and a crafting bench. This is why I didn't want a ladder coming through the floor. It'll let you, but this, why would you lose this intentionally? Personally, I think he should block off those two plugs so that they can't be attached to, but that's personal preference.
Something you need?
And then the two-stage cockpit. So this is the Viking cockpit where the back half is turned into almost a control station captain quarter combo. Cora thinking that, do you know spreadsheets? Have you learned that yet? And then we have the cockpit. I really can't praise him enough for the work that he's done on these things. This is just flat out amazing. Outro second pass. Like and subscribe. Make sure you go and download DarkStar and Falkland and the DarkStar Falkland patch. And then you too can build ships like this with relative ease following this tutorial and dominate the galaxy. Peace.